Hello, listener, and welcome to Tim Portlers, the show where we jump around a whole bunch of different games and systems and hopefully do so in a somewhat coherent manner. I'm Seth, I'm a writer and game master, and with me I have...
I am David, and I like fire.
I'm Rachel, and I was definitely a pyro growing up.
I'm Kyle, and I like trains.
which use coal and fire in some versions
bring it
of
all the
trains.
way around.
Theme.
So does that mean all people who like trains are also pyros?
Unquestionably.
I would figure there was probably some overlap.
Don't let my secret out.
But here's the thing. That means Sheldon is a pyro.
I am fire. I am death.
I become fire.
My fingernails are like spears.
Truly the songs and tales.
There was a point in time when I was hoping to be an engineer someday.
Well, I mean...
I'm a different kind of engineer now.
I was about to say,
When last we left our heroes, you had all set out from Yadamu Lodge on your latest excursion, having returned from the world of space, 1889, and heading out once more, armed with this wacky little sword that seems to be a little frosty. And
Hitsuginu.
yeah, it has a name and apparently some sort of bond with a kami spirit. And actually, that sounds weird. It's a kami sympathizer. Anyway,
the Red Menace!
it's more like a pale blue blade. Anyway.
You the Red Menace.
The Blue Menace!
And it is a ghost, so like a spirit, I guess. So a phantom menace. Anyway, ooh.
Dun, dun,
Carrying on,
dun,
you had journeyed to the land of Rokugan, and we're supposed to have the guidance of your combat instructor, Mudarkadal, who is an alien from the land of Starfinder. But you arrived in the system that we are playing currently, in Legend of the Five Rings, finding that your combat instructor was nowhere in sight, and that apparently the land was overrun with these vile, disgraced soldiers and samurai who fall under the banner of the Okita League, apparently. And to differentiate themselves from the Okita League, every other samurai basically at this point is meant to be carrying the badge of Koryosuru, which signifies that, hey, we are not with the Okita League, these awful people who set up camp between the Lion Clan grounds and the Crane Clan grounds. Series of events occurs, and you find yourselves traveling with young boy and less young boy, both of whom seem to have various reasons for wanting to deal sound blows and have sound words with the Okita League. And this is also a goal you guys sympathize with, seemingly, and you take off to the Crane lands to try to garner some support. Farming is done, and then you proceed to try to join the Crane army.
Which doesn't seem to be going so well.
Yes, we have conducted samurai boot camp. You've returned or not returned horses to people, and carried heavy rocks and looked for weeds, and finally your last trial from Doji Toseki, the samurai who's seemingly in charge of this city. He has set before you your final trial, that you must draw your blade against your truest friend as the sun is setting on your day of trials. The sun sets, the trials are over, and you are rejected from the Crane military. So, as we pick up, Doji Toseki has set before you the task, sits back in his chair, and waits expectantly.
Let them fight.
Let them fight.
So I am, at the moment, super compromised.
Yeah. How you feeling, Hideyoshi?
I am very displeased right now because this is a whole bunch of nonsense. what does finding weeds have to do with being in the military? So I am quite cranky, and I'm going to give my companions a chance to say something before I make the decision that I'm thinking I'm going to make.
I think I would find the nearest mirror-like surface, whether it's a puddle or whatever, and...
I love myself.
Yes!
I love that so much. Okay.
That's well played. Well played.
But your
Alright.
mirror self will always be your opposite hand.
So you are attacking your puddle reflection.
Oh, I found a puddle?
Uh,
I was looking for a puddle, a trough, whatever the nearest source of water with a reflection
well, yeah,
would be.
we'll say that there's a near enough water trough that you're able to.
Turns out
Okay.
that's where you had to take your horse the first time.
There you are.
The answer is right in front of you the whole time. But no, you locate your own reflection
Mhm.
and proceed to
I draw my sword,
strike at it.
and yeah, I just for the kicks. I at this point, I don't know what he wants from me, so I'm just going with the best answer I got.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, man.
my.
Okay.
You attack the water commie in the truck. It fights back. Oh, I had the dice right here, Seth, if you wanted.
I can't use player dice.
Oh, okay.
Silly.
You use my dice all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything?
No. Well, I mean,
An attack roll.
this is basically the equivalent of hitting the broadside of a barn. So there's target number 1, and go ahead and roll your
Please
your
miss.
attack.
Sorry.
May the force be with
so
you.
my melee attack
Yes,
then?
and because obviously you gotta, it will be melee shift because that's water,
Melee.
Well,
and you're hitting water.
Okay. Okay, so I can keep dice up to my ring
Mhm.
value, and then if I...
If you keep exploders, you then explode.
Okay.
Keep blue.
And then if it explodes again, I can keep
Mhm.
that.
yeah.
That's always the most wonderful
It's
thing in the world.
Explosive chain.
I just got 2 explosives, which means I have 3 success and 1 opportunity.
Okay.
I flourish my sword, and
Okay.
yeah, I am far better at this than anyone ever expected me
Oh
to be.
God! What?
You slash at the water with such finesse, and doing so, feel that you have successfully, probably in some alternate dimension, legitimately struck it yourself. And
Okay. Not sure how I feel about that, but sure.
When you go back to the lodge, you're just gonna have this weird feeling of just like whack.
and no, it's just like 5 systems from now. You show up in this new place.
The sword comes out of the water.
Sword comes out of the water trough.
No, you just walk into the new world and just suddenly water. Like, oh, right.
Knew that was coming.
And it's gonna be 3 successes from now since you got 3 success.
Yep. Sure.
Or 3 game systems from now. Yeah.
Yep. So, Zaheen,
Wait, mark your
you
calendars.
strike at the water and presumably dry off your blade and return it to its scabbard. And
And then I go and just kneel in front of the teacher and just sit there, feeling like I've done the right thing.
all
So satisfied smug in your face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Make a performance charm.
Oh my. Okay, a performance.
Mhm.
And you thought you were done.
Like you've really got to sell
Performance
this.
charm. Okay. Oh boy. The black or the ring die, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Although at the same time, well done.
Um. Okay. Oh no! Why did I didn't mean to. Oh. Okay. I meant to keep the one die that had a success and a strife on it, which
Okay.
puts me over my threshold.
Okay. But how many successes?
Only one. Yeah.
Yeah. As you just come back and take a knee in front of Doji
And honestly,
Toseki.
I'm kind of just chuckling to myself because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this probably isn't the answer, but I'm just going for it at this point. Whatever it may be, I'm just whatever.
Okay. Yes, you come back to Doji Toseki, take a knee, and
Not a knee, but both knees.
Okay.
Like, you know, the whole like kneel in front of like I'm you know what I mean?
Yes, there's the word
I
for it.
don't
I
know
don't
what
remember.
yeah.
Bowie.
Yeah.
The formal Japanese sitting stance
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Crisscross
Yes.
applesauce.
as you're sitting there in front of him, there's a long period of just silence, and finally you look up and see him just stroking his chin, just staring at you like he can't decide if you're ridiculous or brilliant.
I just grin at him. This like silly, like I don't know what I'm doing kind of grin
Mm-hmm.
because I mean honestly that's super honest for her right now.
Yeah, he's
She's-
complete poker face in response, but just staring you down. What does anyone else wish
I like
to
to
do?
think during this whole time, poor Doji Men is, since he's so short, he doesn't exactly see what's going on in there, but he hears the splash and just thinking that, so Sahin's greatest friend is water? And just like trying to ponder what exactly does that all mean, and you know.
I think we're all like just sitting outside the
Yeah.
front gate, so we can
Yeah.
see all of this.
Right, yeah,
And
so,
she wouldn't have gone very far.
okay.
No.
But yeah, just kind of like slowly piecing together what she did, but seeing the reaction from ancestor, quote unquote, our family member, seeing that that's not exactly the right answer per se, is kind of looking at the people with him and thinking who's his, I guess, truest friend.
Mhm.
You know, most of his family's back at home. So he's probably thinking at the moment. I know I'm not compromised, so I'm not involved in rash thinking at the moment, but let's pass it over to Mr. David over in the corner.
Okay.
But he's not in a corner.
Well, he's that corner of the weird rectangle that we're in.
That's him in the corner.
Right.
Right.
Mm.
I'm in the spotlight.
Yep.
But
Mm.
I'm going to. Okay, I will probably have just stared at Sahin as she does this, so just kind of look at that. What the heck?
Yep.
Okay. Interesting choice.
I got this, you guys. I totally got this.
Yeah.
And then I am going to. Do I still have my sword out? Did I draw it for some reason?
I don't think you would have, because we would have came back.
Because it was just the horses.
the horse
No,
thing
no,
and
weeds.
the weed thing. So,
Okay, so I don't have my sword out.
unless you were attacking weeds.
In that case, I'm going to go and I'm going to kneel down next to Sahin, facing him, and I'm going to look him straight in the eye and I'm going to say no. That is against every single one of the virtues of Bushido. It is not compassionate to strike your friend. It is cowardly to strike someone who does not expect you to. It is discourteous to attack someone who is your ally. It is not displaying duty or loyalty to attack your friend. It is dishonorable to do so. It does not demonstrate righteousness, and it is deceitful and thus insincere.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, I guess I would call this courtesy reason.
Courtesy reason. All right. Courtesy, I got nothing. Reason, I got. Okay, so I'm gonna. Yeah.
You're gonna rock this.
Do I have any void points? I have no void points, so I've got 2 black dice, and that is it. And I can't take strife. I don't know what this is gonna be bad. Success opportunity.
Okay.
Woohoo!
He does not behead you on the spot. He just, as well, stares you down for a moment.
I return the stare, and I am currently quite cranky, so as poker face as I can get, but definitely not backing down.
I see. Looks finally over to you,
Out
Memphis.
of curiosity, what are my 2 other compatriots?
Isoda-shan is standing there seeming to be grateful that he doesn't have a sword.
Well played, young man. Well played.
And he just walks over before Doji Toseki and just drops down to his knees in a deferential fashion. And I believe there's also basically a stance that you can adopt as a samurai or what have you, that basically showing unarmed, and
Presumably.
yes, and that seems to be his recourse. As for Jikeden, he simply walks up to Doji Toseki, leans in, and whispers in his ear.
Can we hear what he says? I have a vigilance of 2.
All right.
I
Yeah,
have a
we're
vigilance
compromised.
of 2.5.
Does it go down when you're compromised?
I think so.
Sorry?
Doesn't vigilance go down when you're compromised?
Or is it when you're
That
endurance?
sounds familiar.
But when you're fatigued.
When your fatigue exceeds endurance, you're unconscious.
Oh.
So you better
So,
not be vigilant.
yes, your
Okay.
vigilance is a little bit less. Or is it... I feel like you're right. That either is it vigilance or is it focus that goes down when you're compromised?
I'm
I'm
pretty sure it's
looking it
vigilance because it makes it easier for you to get crits on
Right.
you. I'm pretty sure. Because it wouldn't make sense that, I'm compromised, I lose health.
No,
So,
focus, not...
which is health, isn't it?
No. That was
Oh,
endurance.
fatigue, sorry.
Fatigue is... Yeah.
All right. A compromised character's vigilance attribute counts as 1.
Okay, then mine's at 1.
But it's also at 1.
Yes. So neither of you are able to pick up.
But I'm too far away probably since I haven't walked up.
Well,
Yeah.
doesn't he have to roll to...
He does technically have to roll.
So he could get 0.
All right. Let's roll this pig.
Make him squeal!
If we have to make a roll, then he has to make a roll too.
I mean,
No role playing without rolling dice.
Yeah, it says role playing right in the name there, guys.
apparently, not only can you hear what he's saying, you don't realize he's whispering. You just think he's leaning over and being weird.
Yes!
Hey, you guys!
But as he pulls away, Doji Toseki looks up to him.
But what does he say? Since
Yeah.
we hear.
Oh, he succeeded extremely well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that. Okay, I'm confused.
No, you hear nothing.
Okay.
You don't.
It's
You
just the
don't
way you were talking. It was like, oh, he failed like horribly. So you hear him like he's talking normally.
no, not only do you not hear him, you don't even realize that there is something to be heard.
It's like, why is he going up to him and just leaning down next to him?
Oh,
That's weird.
It's a weird way to bow to somebody.
Yeah. It's like this
Not when
weird,
you're this far away.
this weird 45-degree bow. What's going on? Anyway, but he just takes a step back and just like he looks at him and just Looks to you, Memphis.
Well, since I have no bright ideas, Memphis is kind of like, all my best friends are my siblings, and they're over in somewhere else, and there's no way I can get to them. So the closest friend that I have in this wonderful world, besides for the last few days, is Jeremy the Cricket. But I can't really fight Jeremy because he's cute and adorable, even though he sounds terrible. I'm gonna go and kind of position myself, since I know Hideyoshi's kind of sitting in front of me, ancestor Doji Toseki. Did I get the name right?
Yeah.
Boom!
Technically, no relation.
It took a few sessions. Man, I got it. All right. Now I'm going to forget. Anyway, I'm going to go kind of plant myself in front of Hideyoshi and do kind of the ceremonial kind of like bow and, kind of draw my weapon type of thing. But, not have it engage until he actually gets up to reciprocate the duel thing. But, at least present myself that, hey, you're the closest thing I got to a friend in this world at the moment. Sorry,
I give you this look that like says halfway like, "Oh, I'm flattered, man," and the other half is like, "I am moving."
Right. Yeah. So I'm just going to wait there until because there's no reason to attack a person that's not going to reciprocate the duel. So I'm just going to sit there patiently until.
Doji Toseki at this point looks over to where the sun is just about to slip below the horizon.
And at the very least, I'm going to pull out my blade and draw it towards him and salute. And then I've drawn my blade against my greatest friend and put it back. And then turn, and then since I tried my best, he's not budging, so...
Memphis, you're going to have to roll for that.
Oh, yes, I am.
Wow.
You should have just like painted a blade on my forehead or something. Drawn his blade.
Yeah.
That would have worked real well.
Etch, draw!
We're a bunch of nerds.
It would have been
Okay.
especially cool if it had been upon in Japanese instead of English.
Wow. Okay. Memphis,
Yes.
go ahead and roll courtesy trick, as you're basically trying to wordplay your way out of this.
Okay. Word of courtesy trick. Yo. Rolling. Oh. One. How much back can I take? 2. 1, 2, 3. It will explode. Okay, well, first explode you. Bam! Okay, it was fun. But that's okay. So I have 2 success, 1 opportunity.
Okay. Doji Toseki looks to you, and there's a faint tug of a smile on his face, but mostly the "Are you serious?"
I'm not
kind
going
of
to fight him when he's not going to go fight me, so...
But basically, he's grasping that you're trying to get off on the technicality of, "Hey, I drew my sword against him, and then I put it right back." And
Well, I'm still in front of Hideyoshi if ever he wants to go take me up on my duel thing,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
nothing much I can do if he's not going to take it.
so, a very awkward, long silence ensues. After which, finally, Toseki looks over
I'm
and
sure I have my mask up so that way you don't have to read my emotions.
the sun has vanished, and he looks to each of you, just shakes his head slowly. Then I suppose a simple question remains. If I do not accept you into my command, the better to keep an eye on all of you. Where will you go?
I look around. I don't have any knowledge of where we're going next.
We will go and fight them on our own. There's something wrong with this world, and we are going to set it right as best we can.
I'm going to let you decide whether that's courtesy, insight, or enlightened.
Just to remind me as the player, we originally came here to go get the badges, right? So that way we can go walk around without getting knowing that we were part of the Okita League.
Partly. We're looking. I mean, I'm talking to the out of game, but we're looking for our
Looking for a dude.
yeah.
Looking for some stuff to bring back to the lodge.
Mhm.
Trying to figure out what caused the quiet. Trying to figure out how to end the quiet.
Mhm.
I don't remember these things. And something about this Okita League is what is the thing that has drawn us into this world, and we're going to go and we're going to fix that. So, the Badge of Koyosaru is a means to the end of defeating the Okita League.
Right.
And if they don't give it to us, then we'll fall back to the
We kind of do it our own
the
way.
rougher, we'll just do this ourselves without allies or friends and make enemies of the entire world. But we're going to do it because it's the right thing to do. So, I mean,
Our methods may be crazy, but we have good intentions.
and I'm better at insight, but I feel like this would be an enlighten. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Is Saheen attempting to back you up?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes.
That's what that was.
Alright.
Is anybody else backing me up?
Well, I don't know what to say because it's already kind of been said. I'm gonna though add that we came here to originally go get the what are that called again?
Well, have you already said that?
I did not say that. Not out loud.
Koyasaru.
Koyasaru?
Close.
Koyasaru. Something.
Ah.
I need to get back in my character.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah!
It's the Kool-Aid thing.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, so you were... Is
I'm
that-
mentioning the badge thing.
That doesn't really add to the argument.
Right, true.
Though.
Well, no, that's the reason.
Okay.
As far as I know, why we came here. I can't obviously say, "Hey, we're from another planar existence." And we're
It just
here."
doesn't add to the current argument.
Right.
that-
So I
Yeah,
We
have
got
sorry,
you
make
in
it
trouble
sorry.
for that.
Okay, well... those have strife, and I cannot take strife. But they're both strife exploders, so... Extra fail. 1 success total. That's too bad.
He sighs and finally just stands to his feet. You will return in the morning. I will have an answer for you.
Give a deep bow.
Wow.
I follow suit.
As do Jikedan and Isoda-chan. And Doji Toseki turns and walks back into the fortress, and you are all left after sunset in this city, having spent a full day running around, carrying rocks, looking for weeds, returning horses.
Or just
Or not returning
riding
horses.
horses around town for no
Yep.
reason.
I let out a big breath that I didn't realize I was holding this whole time, and just and probably slumped down since I'm now exhausted, realizing all that I've done, as you just expressed.
I'm just gonna turn around and walk back to the inn.
Yep.
I guess after kind of collecting myself, I'm going to go wipe off the mud and grunt that I got from sitting down, and then go ahead and follow.
Did my unleashing of my frustration on Doji Toseki count as
Unmasking? I
can see either way. So it didn't quite like fly off the handle.
yeah,
But
it was still rather reserved and actually trying to,
Yeah.
think about
Composure.
how do I accomplish my goals though.
Okay.
So yeah, you're still very much on edge as you all begin to make your way back to the inn, presumably.
Lucky cricket. Yep. Meanwhile, while I'm trying to pull out Jeremy, speaking of crickets, they say, maybe I should have attacked you, buddy. You're my best friend, and then put him back. And then follow the rest of the group.
As you head back to the inn, just in subdued silence, you get back there. There's food ready that you can partake of, unless you just wish to
I'm gonna eat all my feelings.
Where's the ice cream?
IRL, that was a little bit me yesterday for some reason.
Isoda-chan actually puts down the coin for this meal.
Oh, what
For all of
Give him a
us?
pat on the head. Thanks, kid.
He just
Yeah, I give him a nod.
Great kid, don't get cocky.
nods and also pays for the rooms for the night.
Oh, wow.
Are you sure?
He nods and just seems to not want to go into it any further.
Okay.
Aw. The guy that stole this away is looking out for us. Hopefully the village
The guy
isn't
that
on
made
our
us
tail.
kidnap him.
Yeah.
Hopefully this village isn't on our tail.
So, as you all make to retire for the evening, Jikaden actually makes a point of motioning all of you into a circle outside the doors to your rooms. And, I think that might have gone poorly.
You think?
Yeah.
So, what is our plan if we are not able to rely on acquiring the badges of Koyosuru?
Well, we have an idea of where the Okita League is. And
I know where they are.
And we have what used to be an inside man, at the very least, who might know where he's hidden.
Unless
No
they,
pressure or anything, of course.
If they haven't shored up any potential weaknesses, I may be able to gain us entry for all the good it will do.
Also, out of curiosity, while you were in league with the Okita League,
He looks around and is like,
sorry, kind of peek around and like all eyes like, secret, hush, hush, hush.
Yes.
Kind of try to lower my voice a little bit and just like, did you notice anything odd about them? Like, did they have any weapons, like, say, and I motion towards Hideyoshi, like his weapon of sorts with like odd properties or anything like that?
He frowns and says, they do not have kami bound to their weaponry, if that is what you are asking, but
any sort of strange devices that don't look like they are from around here?
well, their leader goes by the name of Veral.
That's... Viral is the name of the Wakened?
Nods. I do not know if he is the Wakened or if he speaks for the Wakened, but he is the only leader I ever saw. And he does, or at least did, carry around a strange satchel. There was an odd energy about it.
Interesting.
Well, I suppose, should we not accomplish our goal tomorrow, then our new goal will be to find out as much about these persons as possible. To see what sort of nefarious plan they may be up to and what we can do to stop it.
As to their plan, I don't think they will stop short of anything except complete control of Rokugan. And they may just be able to do it.
But they're not that big of an army, per se? How do you believe that they can take over all of Rokugan?
They grow in strength every day. There are many who wield a blade who feel as though their clans have not honored their years of service.
Sounds like a lot of ambitious people.
Indeed.
I wonder if they all have exactly the same vision, or if some people disagree with one another.
I ended up disagreeing with what I found. Perhaps others have as well.
Should it come to that, you may be able to use that.
Very well. But I suppose we should get some sleep and
Yes.
see what our next move is in the morning when we hear Doji Toseki's verdict on our performance.
At dawn, we learn if we need to plan or not.
Leia!
To
So-
sleep.
Yes, you all head to bed and get, in the case of Sahin and Hideyoshi, not very restful sleep.
Oh,
But it is enough.
I'm trying not to let my Teone show. I'm really having a really hard time not just breaking into like, oh my gosh, you guys. It's so hard.
I just go to Sahin's room and I cry on her shoulder all night. Wait, hang on.
Whoa, where'd
that's
this
not
come
the
from?
That was, whoa.
That is not the right
Hideyoshi?
character.
best friend.
No. Mm-mm.
No, I do not do that.
No.
Let me first that. Hideyoshi does not do that.
Morgan's yes.
Or do not do that. Hideyoshi does not. Hideyoshi goes to sleep in his own bed and probably is cranky all night long.
Yes. If it has not been made clear before, listener, Morgan and Teone are alternate role-playing characters in a different game.
That are bestest of friends.
Yes.
By the way,
Yes.
since it was brought to my attention that there's a weird satchel of sorts.
Mm.
Since I went to school in the lodge,
Mm.
could I maybe, no offense, Rachel, could I maybe think about what this satchel might be from another world? Possibly?
I mean, there are
Like,
a number of handbags,
I guess
satchels,
you didn't give us too
whatever.
much to go off of, but
Could be from anywhere, or it
Okay.
could be from here. I don't know.
okay. Just playing around with options. Anyway, also just to clarify, when you sleep or whatever, everything goes to half of what the threshold is, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I make sure to wake up extra early so that way I can get to the fortress extra early so that way I can wait patiently
Okay.
on the steps of the palace.
You awake feeling rather rested.
Cool.
Yeah. It's okay. Yesterday, but today,
I got a good feeling about today. Right, Jeremy? Good feeling? That's right. Up
Oh
top.
gosh, Memphis.
Sahin and Hideyoshi, you awake.
Do the sound of
Yes,
It's cricket.
not just annoying sounds of cricket, but just the fact that you were not in the best frame of mind when you were attempting to go to sleep. So,
does our composure go down when we sleep if it's over the threshold?
Yeah, it should reduce. We just
Yes.
get a good sleep.
correct.
Oh, okay, I see. So it does reduce. Okay.
Yes. I don't know if there is an actual fatigue condition.
Fatigued condition.
So it goes down to half of my
Half rounded off.
Threshold.
half of my threshold. Okay. So if I'm
Round
at
up.
7, it would go down to 3 because
Nice.
my threshold is 6.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll do it this way then, mechanically speaking. And instead of stick, carrot, and that Memphis,
Yes.
you gain a void point.
Oh boy!
Because you weren't compromised after the end of a long grueling day.
Yeah.
So that's like
Jeremy brought me luck.
your degree of inner peace. And it's all good in the hood. In the Rokugan hood.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
Got my mess on sideways.
And yes, you all awake in the morning and are able to avail yourselves of food that is provided and paid for by, once again, the young Isoro-chan.
Thank you, Ashok.
He's a cool guy. I like him.
Yeah.
But as you're all sitting there eating, he at one point just gets out of his chair and walks over to you, Hideyoshi, and just gives you a bow.
I return his bow and look confused.
It was good to hear that you were committed to our goal, whether or not it would be made easier.
Of course.
Just seems slightly uncomfortable at having to say that, but felt like it needed to be said, and just goes back to his seat, sits down, and finishes eating. The rest of the meal is had, and it is in fact morning.
To the palace!
To the fort!
To the fort thing!
So, you all head out into the street out of the Lucky Cricket Inn, and slow-mo walk your way to the sunrise.
That's what I mean 3 walks.
Spurs are clanking, and head on over towards the fortress, where different soldiers seem to be bustling about somewhat anxiously, and in his full samurai regalia, Doji Toseki emerges from the fortress and sees all of you.
Was he
drawing
wearing
near.
this? Yeah, the like something similar the day before, or is this like more ceremonial?
Not the ceremonial. He's decked out for a fight.
So it's like what we saw him originally.
I
when we
look
first
at
saw
what
him.
I'm wearing to what everyone else is wearing. I was like, did you get the memo?
I would probably be wearing all my gear.
I'm wearing the same thing I was wearing yesterday, which I think was my travel. Or I was wearing whatever I usually wear.
And if we're getting ready for a fight, then let's
You
do
know, of
this.
course, I bow courtesy,
Yes.
with courtesy and all that, since he told us to meet him. So
As he just strides up to each of you. It seems as though my answer to you all will have to wait a while longer. And just points out to the western horizon.
out of curiosity, which way did we turn into the city? Like, is that the way that we came?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Oh, crap. What does that mean? Where is the Okita League from? Is the Okita League?
Kind of northwest.
So from the direction he's pointing, is that...
Do we perhaps see anything on yon horizon?
I roll a perception check.
No, you don't! And
Assistant, you don't.
kind of occasional specks on the horizon, and there appear to be long, strung instruments in their grasps, and just kind of appear to be making some sort of enclosure as you look about, kind of speckled all across in a vague arc, kind of
So there are
north to south.
there are people out there building a fence around us?
Nope. There's no perception check, so I just tell you, I guess. This is so weird.
There's
Anyway.
people with bows?
Yes, there.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like a zitar, gitar, whatever you call them.
And which direction did he point? Northwest?
The west.
Kind of in an arc, like running north to south along the western horizon. So
Okay.
northwest to
north,
north.
southwest.
Yeah, northwest, southwest. South by southwest.
There.
And
I knew it was something like that.
northwest, southwest. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, just kind of in this advancing arc. There appear to be archers making their way for the fortress.
At this distance, can we see what sort of banners or flags or pennants or iconography they have to identify themselves?
They don't. They aren't actually flying any sort of banner, and they seem to be rather drably dressed, as though their intent is to blend in, but also to a forest rather than harvested farmlands.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not horribly visible, but you're able to see them.
How about this? Do they look familiar to the rough scallywags that we ran into originally with a cart?
A rough scallywag.
Yeah.
Do they look like the Okita League we previously
They
encountered?
look remarkably rapscallion-esque.
Okay. Zoinks!
I'm going to turn back to Doji, Dono, and
Doshi, Doseki?
no, Dono is a honorific. It's a
Oh, okay.
title.
I thought you were like messing up with the names. Like, I
Yeah,
remember
this
the
is
name.
like
Woo!
David. You're pulling a Kyle
It's
here.
Doji Toseki Dono. Anyway,
Dono.
I turn to him and I bow and I ask him, where would be the least inconvenient place for us to participate in this fight?
He glances out westward. Truthfully, if you would be willing to eliminate the archers before they become an issue for our civilians, that would be the most useful thing.
Give him a nod. We brought our horses with us.
We never did before. I would have done.
You can spend the destiny points when you brought
wait,
your horses.
wait, wrong
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I need
Alright,
to go
well-
running off to go collect Mo, the horse.
Okay.
All the way back to the city?
That's where Mo, the horse is. I didn't bring him with me.
It's not like the fortress is not a super long, basically.
Okay, then I'm going
Settlement here, fortress here.
to run back to the inn,
Okay.
get the horse, and then we're going to go and ride down some
clarify.
archers.
We only have 2 horses, right?
Mm.
We're going to do a mechanized infantry approach,
Mhm.
and we're going to ride up to the archers, dismount, and then attack them on foot.
All right. So,
How are we gonna do that?
I'm
We're
also
gonna
going to
shoot
look at Ishodashan and
Ride
ask
fast.
if he wants to tag along with, or if he.
he looks at you, looks down to where he clearly does not have a sword at his waist. If they are not going to let me fight, then how am I meant to fight?
Shooting.
Shall we pick him up a sword along the way?
I'll go ahead and give him my audacious knife. And just say, well, this is for your protection. Only use it unless you absolutely need to. And I give him my concealable knife that I have. So.
Are you Santa Clausing Lucy Pevensey right now?
Maybe. Be safe, kids.
He takes the knife and looks at it and gives a severe nod. But, as you say, we only have the 2 horses. Am I riding with you?
Well,
Unless we want to run.
Jakaden steps forward. Perhaps it would be better if the horses were to take the 4 of us, who are more tested fighters.
That's
Real quick,
probably.
That's probably, yeah. Jacado, I'm sorry, you're going to have to sit this one out.
You mean?
No, sorry. Yeah, no.
Sorry, kid. We're going to take the kid.
Sorry,
taking the 12-year-old.
warrior, you can't.
He knows what he's doing.
It worked in Star Wars, okay?
Oh boy. Listener, it did not.
is horse racing.
So,
I'm trying to study, not to do a trick.
We're going to get our characters so killed.
alright, you sprint on back to the Lucky Cricket with your Lucky Cricket at your side and mount up. And,
I guess
you know,
leave some soda shot then.
it's a whole thing. Unless you're riding into battle bareback, you're taking the time to put the saddles on.
How long is that going to take?
Probably a good 10 minutes.
2 people per horse? They could go faster?
Mm-hmm.
Having never saddled a horse in real life, I don't know if you're...
I don't think it necessarily takes. Granted, that's modern day saddles. It doesn't take 10 minutes because I've done it before.
I mean, if you really want to get things cinched up
Cinched up,
properly, as
yes.
far as I understand, it takes a few
It
minutes.
takes a little bit, yes.
Well, we'll call it 5, and you can whittle it down per success.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I imagine
I'm. Well, what are we rolling? I
It's
guess?
gonna be survival.
I think you got mad survival.
I
Right?
got mad survival.
Survival innovate, I suppose.
Survival innovate? Oh, I got mad.
Okay.
And I've got 2
so
assists. Or no, I've got 1 assist. 'cause I'm
Okay,
really-
I have 3 fire and only 1 rank in survival. So
Oh.
I'm a saddle the first horse.
So, just to be clarified, we're leaving the Sebashan behind.
Yes.
Alright, so I'll make a
Unless you want to take the 12-year-old boy into a
So
fight.
I'll go ahead and tell them that to hang on to the knife. I will want it back later, which means I'll see you back later. And then tell them to be safe, and I'll give him a ink and some paper just in case if he wants to keep himself occupied. But also if he needs to run off somewhere, he can kind of say which direction he's going in case they happen to actually get to the city. Not that that's going to happen, but I want to cover all my bases and take
No,
care
it's
of
just
it.
it's just amusing. Anyway, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Are you riding bareback or with
You have to have someone else on a horse with you as well. Don't forget that.
yeah, true. Well, we're already running 2x2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he saddling the one horse? Or are you
Right.
saddling the other horse?
I guess I could try.
Okay.
So
Innovate, you say? Survival?
one of the things we haven't been doing super often in the system is announcing the target numbers before we roll.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know the target number of this.
This was meant to be 5 minutes, a minute taken off for every success that you get.
Okay, so target number 0.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
What happens if you just get 2 opportunities?
You successfully saddle the horse. It just takes a bit.
Okay. Cool.
In that case, I'm just going to roll with a 2 opportunity.
Okay. It takes some time, and you're frantically like cinching everything properly, and realizing, oh wait, no, if I tighten this over here needs to be tightened more. Wait, this needs to be loosened. If I'm going to tighten over here, etc. Yes.
And to clarify, Mo, the horse that I have, is the one that I accidentally attacked previously that has kind of
Mhm.
slightly sprained his leg.
With the slightly gimpy leg. Yes.
Right.
At this point, it's been mostly patched up.
I'll go
And
ahead, though, take out an apple and give it as, horse fuel.
Just
So
kinda-
it's already right.
takes a chunk out of it, just barely nicks your fingers. You're not sure if it's on purpose.
Give it a quick little scratch down, and then I don't know who's going with me on Mo, but
It's up to you guys.
I mean, I'm saddling the other horse,
Yes.
so probably with you would be either Jikadon or Sahin.
so
Yeah.
Sahin, who do you want to go with?
I was going with Hideyoshi, I thought.
Okay, I'm
That
thinking.
probably makes sense distribution of weight-wise.
Jakaden just looks to you and says, "Wow."
and
I did not say that out loud.
I know.
to clarify, is Jacadon taking the reins? Or the reins?
Do you trust your abilities as a horseman or his better?
Probably his, because he's actually lived in this world and dealt with horse.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Well,
Also, I have a bow and arrow, so I can be shooting while we're making our way up.
all right.
Yeah, I will probably drive so Sahin can ranged.
Drive.
Yeah.
You're going to drive your
By
Mustang.
the way,
I reach out,
Oh,
I
no.
just turn the horse's ear and see if it turns on.
Check your ears.
I put a rank
It bugs you
in ranged. I put a rank in ranged.
Nice, okay.
So
All right.
I have a rank now.
So- Jakaden assumes the rein of one horse, Hideyoshi the other, and you whip your horses around and start galloping out towards danger. Danger zone.
That's
And
remembering what to.
Taylor Loggins in the background.
anyway,
Or Amaranth in the background.
also
Do
yes.
we have a playlist for this campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Danger Zone?
It
could be.
I feel like
Alright.
Danger Zone should be on almost any RPG playlist. Anyway,
Fair
Yeah.
point.
as you whipped around your horses and you're galloping out towards possible death and glory. At this point, the archers have moved in and they appear to actually have gotten off a couple of volleys at this point, actually, towards the fortress. Civilians are shrieking and ducking inside of their homes and
I
establishments.
have my bow out, and as soon as I'm within range, I'm going to start taking shots.
All right.
Curiosity.
As you've drawn up near the fortress and you're pushing on, are you just making beeline for the archers here?
A little zigging and zagging, but otherwise straight for
Alright.
one end of their line.
All right.
The Hopoffer's gonna
yeah.
run down it.
At this point, it's not as a full complement of archers, but there, as you estimate at this point, maybe a couple dozen archers out here. And it's that moment in the Battle of Helm's Deep when all the elven archers just snap over all in unison, and it's kind of from the either side of the archers formation, just kind of sweep over, and all of them take aim at you as you make your approach.
We're not going in the middle.
Where it's like, yeah.
Like we're like trying to get on
or
one
the other,
end.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
Charging
sweeping.
lightning.
Yes.
You sweeping north or south? What's happening?
Let's go north.
All right.
North, yeah.
So you kind of take off slightly past the fortress and peel around, kind of come back down from the north to take on that end of the archer formation. But yes, so then it is actually the more like the in Lord of the Rings when they all just kind of swim in one direction. Not all of them will be in range at this point, which is good news for you. Yes, what was?
Oh, I was curious. Since I'm on the back of the horse, not actually necessarily in the saddle, because I don't think it's a double person saddle thing. I'm guessing that I can't really. How does that work in shooting arrows? Am I like hampered by it because I'm not really holding on to anything on the horse? I'm just besides the legs, or do I have to like tie myself into the saddle so that way I'm not going to fall off?
I don't believe you are specifically trained for horse archery,
Right.
and it's a lot more difficult than it looks. So it's going to be a higher target number.
Alright, so that's how it's going to work with
Yeah.
just target number. Alright. I was just a little curious about that. Anyway, so when I'm in range, go twang.
All right. In which case, we are in.
Combat.
Yeah. And this would then be the conflict. It's a this thing skirmish.
your might. I imagine it's more skirmishing.
It is kind of currently a skirmish because it's just us.
Yeah, it's not like huge armies against each other or anything. All
It
right.
might turn into a mass combat.
All right.
I'm
So
so
this-
glad I got a good night's rest.
This here is gonna be a skirmish, and at this point, do any of you like what is the maximum range any of you possess?
I have a grand total with my bow, a maximum range of 5.
I think that's probably what I have too because I have a bow.
But I'm not
Yeah.
shooting my bow, so I'm just driving.
All right.
You drive, I shoot.
In which case, they
Drive that Mustang.
But yeah, also it's
And
a
what I
horse.
have going on in my head from fresh off the boat, yeah, because like
and there's zigging and zagging. I'm not going
mhm.
not straight beeline.
Oh, you're gonna be rolling for horse husbandry, I suppose. No, not this isn't specifically husbandry. This is just horsemanship, I suppose. Yeah,
what am I rolling?
you're all gonna roll target number 1 tactics to assess the battlefield. This is your initiative.
Okay.
And we pick our stances, basically what we're doing as well.
Yep.
I am all in on this overwhelmed
So
stance.
tactics, what?
Tactics target number
And
1.
then depending on what stance
And
you
then,
want to
yeah,
pick.
you determine the stance.
Oh, right.
Because combat.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take 2 opportunity.
Okay.
Because everything has opportunity on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a strife.
Oh,
And did we determine if you're in fire stance, you don't get the bonus until you're actually in fighting?
well, you're in fighting right now.
Yeah,
This is
I believe if you adopt it as your stance, if you take the strife, you get additional success.
By the way, do you want to know what stances we chose, or just keep
Okay.
that to ourselves?
I mean,
I chose one.
okay. you do need to keep track
After
of it.
the I explode dice, can I remove the dice I exploded?
I don't believe so.
I think you can choose to keep whether or not the exploded dice.
Yes.
So
but the
I've
original
taken
dice,
one
yeah.
strife that gives me 3 success.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. No, hold that because
I'm in fire stance, so
I
I think
have
I
the
get
ability
4
to reroll.
success, 2 opportunity, but I also take 2 strife.
Okay.
This is great, guys.
so I'm gonna actually keep exploding.
That's right. And we just didn't want to do camp yesterday, so we're on fire for today.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, ready to go.
Reroll. Oh, wait, that would-
We're ready to start slashing reflections and taking names.
Right.
Nope, no. I'm gonna sorry.
Lifting rocks.
Mhm.
And kind of
Choose to
featuring
reroll these 2 and see if that makes a difference.
Slashing names, taking reflections.
You mean photos? No. Okay.
Hold up. Selfie.
Okay, we're gonna go that route, and it's gonna be 3 success, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
All right.
I got 4 success, 2 opportunity.
Which that actually will indicate that Sahin is going first, I suppose. Much as
Ooh, you can spend opportunity to do some things.
Oh.
Well, probably not for initiative, though.
Yeah, for initiative.
Well,
Oh, what
I
can
got
you
two
do?
opportunity. What can I do with two opportunity?
Let me look on page 328 to find out.
Do tell, good say. Do tell.
I will also look it up.
328, you say?
Mm-hmm. Table
I
8-1.
think you too, listener, can.
It is a big one.
Alright.
This is going to be conflict and martial skill examples of opportunity. I'm on a fire stance. Choose.
Alright, so walk out. During an attack action. Oh, that's during an attack. So move one. Now, question. Apparently, I can move one range band, but I'm on top of a horse. Can said horse move one range band with me?
I'll say yes, since
Okay.
Jakaden is kind of NPCing for you here.
Okay. So
Initiative.
we go ahead and move one range band closer, I guess,
Alright.
Ooh. I
since I'm in
could.
water.
Other characters must receive 2 strife to choose you as a target of their attack and scheme actions until the start of your next turn. That takes 2 opportunity.
Very nice. I'm curious, what's this table up here for?
This is a general examples
Oh.
of opportunity.
Gotcha.
Alright, yeah, I'm going to do the choose another character in the scene. Increase
Oh wait, initiative check
Oh, there we go.
examples of.
The-
There's an initiative check examples
Yes.
of opportunity.
Alright, so basically with mine, I can go on an initiative check this assess the qualities of the terrain in the scene.
Though those are not the complete example. Those are just examples. The text in the skirmishes section says you can undertake small tasks such as readying weapons or diving for cover.
Well, I shall ready my bow then.
I already had my bow out, so,
So I think I am going to use mine to draw Hitsujinu as I'm charging up.
Okay. Might make it a little more difficult to control the horse.
How far from them am I?
At this point, you'd be at range 5, which is at the point where you guys are actually in range of each other, so I wasn't going to have you roll initiative until that.
Yeah.
But like, how quickly will the horse close that distance?
Let's see.
Well, if you got a V8 under that, but it's going to close it rather nice.
How many horsepower you got there? 1.
14.3.
1 horsepower. Yes, technically it's but one horsepower. Yeah. Anyway,
A horsepower has more than 1 horsepower.
I understand.
So how many horses do you have underneath that horse at the hood?
There are no
Wait,
horses
horse?
under this horse.
Are you sure?
Check to see if the horse is pregnant.
All right.
Does it have 4-leg drive?
It might be, you know.
You never know.
I thought it was a Mustang though, so what is this?
Let's see if we go by
I keep
D&D
saying it's a
rules.
Mustang. I don't know that it is.
Oh, okay.
If we go by D&D rules, range 5 is anywhere from 50 to 75 feet away.
There's a spot where it shows that, I think.
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going by squares because I'm used to a square being 5 feet because that's how it is.
D&D.
Dur.
But what about beyond D&D?
That's not a thing.
Oh, okay.
There's no presidency for that or nothing.
So most likely a horse could close that distance in, even if we say the square is over 5 feet, I'd call that 1 to 2 rounds. A horse at full gallop is gonna, a horse at full like war gallop into fighting is gonna cover that in 1 to 2 rounds.
Okay. Then I'm going to leave my sword out for now.
Okay.
If I'm going first, I'm gonna take a shot.
All right.
So, I use the ring dice from my stance,
Mm-hmm.
and then whatever skill dice I have
Yep.
in that, and I roll
Which-
that, and that's right?
Yeah, this is ranged.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing ranged overwhelm.
Mhm.
Overwhelm.
Out of curiosity, since you mentioned we're in the fields and grassland, how tall is the grass?
There isn't a whole lot of tall greenery at this point because a lot of the crops have been cut down.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was totally imagining, since I'm so short with my small stature, I could be like totally like the Jurassic Parks.
I mean-
raptors in Jurassic Park, where it's like just partying through the.
I understand the desire, but understand that this is overall worked out for you because you've actually seen the enemy coming.
Yeah, no worries.
If there were still huge fields of crops, they could probably have just slinked along
Right.
in that.
No, I thought that was going to be pretty cool, but no worries.
2 success.
Okay,
You hit him.
that indicates a successful.
Is it target number 2 then?
Yeah,
on there?
actually, you're riding on the back of your horse. Yeah, that would have to make it a 3, honestly. So yeah. The arrow goes flying, and
Get closer, Hideyoshi!
unaccustomed to firing from horseback, which is rather difficult in real
Gosh,
life.
guys, I didn't know this was going to be so hard.
Like, oh my gosh.
I just keep
I
riding.
don't know.
Right. It is then up to you, Hideyoshi.
Okay, I'm looking at the stats for the horse, and I don't know what all this stat block means, but it says when I succeed on a movement check, I can add bonus successes equal to the mount's water ring, which is 3.
Horse. Yeah.
So I think I think I'd have to make a movement check of some kind, and I'm allowed to use survival instead of fitness to do so.
Cool. I suppose.
But I wonder if this would be like a survival shift. Because I'm trying to like dodge and be like watery and get out of the way of.
I'll allow it. You're trying to bob and weave here.
Okay. So I'm going to use that to try and close the distance as quickly as possible. Okay. Ooh, there's some good stuff in here. Alright.
Finally, some good food.
Ooh, exploder.
That was an exploder, but that exploder has a strife on it. And I don't know if I want to take that. I think I don't. So that just leaves me with 2 success, 1 opportunity.
Okay. You feel at least successfully bobbing and weaving, and we'll see if you're correct. As they loose their next volley of arrows, these interlopers, upon you lot.
Cool.
First of all,
Could I have spent my opportunity on my initiative roll for anything? It looked like it wasn't. I couldn't spend it for what I wanted to spend it for.
Oh, I can move 2 range bands plus an additional range. Okay, I don't have that.
technically yes, but
Well,
So
so
I
I
would've-
was saying the initiative check examples of, and the one I was thinking of wasn't in that. It was in the conflict and martial skills examples.
I mean, what is it?
It was other characters must receive 2 strife to choose you as the target of their attack and scheme actions until the start of your next turn.
Sure.
Even though it's not a initiative.
I'm
check.
probably wrong, but I don't
Okay.
see why not.
All right. So I was.
It's a
gonna
thing you
do
can
that.
spend your opportunity on. That makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
before you do this,
What?
I've checked some rules. So I switched to water stance
Yeah.
because I had to make a shift check.
Mhm.
You make a target number 2 fitness check, and I'm using the survival because horse. And if you succeed, you can move. If you chose to make the fitness check and you succeed, you may instead move 2 range bands. So it moves me from a range 5 to a range 3.
Yep. So you
And
guys.
then, since I'm in water stance, I can take another action another action that doesn't require a check. So I can move. I guess I could probably close all of the distance that's left with a maneuver that doesn't have a check.
Well, you would still be at range 2, which is basically like long spear range.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're pretty much right on top of it.
It's close enough that the next round Sahin can jump out and stab him in the face.
Oh yeah.
I thought though that once you make your initiative check, you have to use that stance for the first check in the combat thing. So you would have to use fire.
Technically yes, but we're still learning.
Okay. I just want to make sure previous things was like that was right. Alright, so okay. Anyway, sorry, continue along. Fire at us. Fire away, ricochet.
You
I forget the rest of the lyrics.
Yeah. Really, no. Yes. A resounding yes.
No.
Then that's on Hideyoshi. That'll be yes. As about a half dozen arrows come peppering your way, Hideyoshi, as you come up nearly upon them, one of them does manage to nick you with an arrow, dealing.
They do a damage of 5.
Yeah, and no additional success because they needed 3 to hit you because you're coming in super fast on the horse and dodging and weaving. So 5 damage.
Okay, and I reduce that down to 2. So I take 2 fatigue because I has better armor than I did the last time I was in a fight.
The next one at Saheen misses, then at Memphis also misses, and one at Jikaden,
And they took 2 strikes for targeting me?
Mhm.
Okay.
which the one at Jikaden hits.
Oh.
So again, only the 5 damage though. It just he basically just has to throw himself sideways over the neck of the horse to keep from being, impaled through the neck or something with an arrow, because that's unpleasant. But
Generally, yes.
at this point, Jikaden has closed the distance to range band 3. He's lagging a little bit behind Hideyoshi, but you're within range 3, Memphis, of
Okay.
these archers.
I guess I'll go ahead and fire with my bow since I had that out.
Yeah.
I'm in water stance. I'm going to go ahead and take a calming breath.
Mm-hmm. That's what your common breath sounds like?
Okay.
From the cage at your side just comes in.
That's right. Breathe in, Jeremy.
No.
That's scary right there.
That's really scary.
1, 2, 3.
I'm going for creepy cricket.
Okay.
You've succeeded in
I'm
creepy at
committed
least.
to the bit.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Well, let's first explode that sucker. Sure, we'll explode that sucker. Okay.
Exploding suckers, that's what that
Yeah.
sounds like.
How many explosions does it take to reach the center of the sucker? So I have received 2 strife, but 4 success.
Wow, okay. What is the damage then?
5 with a bow.
And then an additional damage, so 6 total then.
What would that be since? No, alright, yeah, that's right. It's 3 then.
Yes, because you is riding on horseback. Oh, okay. Yeah, these are grunts. So Memphis, as you like with your tiny little arms, draw back your bow,
Twing!
and it fires off, and you don't expect this thing to hit, but then abruptly one of the archers just falls backward into the mud.
First blood. Probably not though, because sadly some villager probably got it.
But then it is back to Sahim,
Me?
and you are at range.
Oh, me?
You're at range 2.
Ooh.
You are open the business.
As Hideyoshi's just been going
You keep that up, sir.
clambering through the mud.
I mean, next on my turn, I'm going to
Hop
close the remaining tiny distance and hit a dude with my sword. So there's not going to be any more running after that.
Okay. I'm gonna move to water stance so I
Yeah.
can take a calming breath. And what happens in a calming breath again?
Ooh, but
You're- Yes, you remove a strife and you recover one endurance, I believe. Or no?
Yes, if your strife is greater than half your composure, you remove 1 strife.
Yeah.
If your fatigue is greater than half your endurance, you remove 1 fatigue.
Okay. Alright. Then I go, what's my water? Okay, I'm shooting again.
This is a point blank shot.
This is not
This is not
good.
close.
2 opportunity.
and the
Hold
arrow.
on, what can I let me look at what I can spend the opportunity on now that I know that I can spend it on things.
The arrow slow mo's through the air. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So water.
it's basically doing that thing that arrows do, where it's
Right, kind of spinning through the air.
Can
look, the arrows in the physics
Can
diagrams.
I use it to help us move one rage band?
How?
I'll allow it just because it's like as you fire off the shot, you at least catch them off guard, and they're staggering back and
I get you.
basically being caught off guard completely as you've distracted them enough with this shot.
You're probably also like squeezing the horses, like, it's so.
By the time you reach them, Hideyoshi, which is now, they are still scrambling to recover from the shot, and you are now
I'm
upon them.
I'm upon them.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm still in water stance, so I'm going to start by striking at them.
Yes. Which, to clarify, you're upon this end of the kind of.
The long line.
Yes.
That is the idea, is to start at one end and just...
Waka.
Pretty much. Alright, so I've got some melee, and I got some rings, and I'm gonna do a shift because...
Ridiculous fact. If you kind of put your finger in here and kind of wiggle it around, it makes the sound of Pac-Man.
This, therefore, you're listening, but I've actually tried this.
I mean, almost.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm not going to be gullible.
Do it.
Sword!
And you know that you can also lick your elbow?
That's
Come on,
me,
Rachel.
Kyle.
No.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna see what happens if I... Like that. Okay. So that gives me 2 success, 2 opportunity. So I'm going to use the 2 opportunity, because I'm in striking as water, I'm going to spend those to bypass their physical resistance. So their physical resistance is reduced by 2, and I do 4 damage to them because I'm wielding it one-handed.
Only 4 damage?
It's still deadliness 5.
4 damage?
That's only if you get a crit, though, right?
Yeah.
For deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 damage won't quite do it, because you
You've got
slash...
6 armor?
No.
They got
I don't expect it to kill them, but it's doing more damage than it would have.
It is... They have 5 endurance, basically, is what's happening. So you
So close.
You slash for 4, and it cuts across, and it's like... He staggers back, and he's holding at his chest, and then just eyes narrow. He whips back around with his bow.
Calming breath, because I'm in water stance and I can do 2 things.
You want me to do 2 things?
I do want to do 2 things. Okay. Now you may try to kill me.
Yes, sir.
They may fire when ready.
That's gonna miss. Towards Zaheen. That's gonna miss. Towards Memphis. That's gonna miss. Towards Jacaden. Wow, Jacaden's having bad luck.
I was about to say something about stormtroopers, but then...
Oh, they hit him again. Yeah, Jacaden's actually it's that bit in Mulan where the arrow hits in the armor, but he's fine. But it's starting to wear him down,
Right.
and he's not quite porcupining yet. But
Oh my, that changed a bit.
no. Next one, it's Hideyoshi misses. Zaheen misses. Well, hang on, that one's close. Hits. So that's going to be 5 damage towards Zaheen.
Okay, so let's see how does
What is your physical resistance?
of my armor?
Yeah.
2, I believe.
2.
So 3 gets through.
Yeah. So 3 damage on your endurance.
Okay.
Fatigue.
Yes.
Also,
Okay, that's
when you sleep, your
They both...
fatigue goes down to half, right?
Your fatigue goes down by half and then is further reduced by twice your water ring.
They also hit Memphis, so
Twice the
5
water reading.
5 damage to you, Memphis.
So I was at 5 endurance, but then I slept, which reduces it by 6. So my fatigue would end to 0. But
And
now
how
it's
much
back.
damage?
5.
Fine.
And at this point, the archers are beginning to just break ranks. The ones further away from you are kind of running backwards as they're still trying to pull their bowstrings and fire back at you. At this point, however, a handful of archers from the fortress are coming out of the front and trying to peel off and cut them off in their retreat. And we are Jakaden, even though he's begun to be peppered with arrows, he pushes the horse on that is carrying himself and Memphis, and you closed within range 1 of the closer archers.
Two.
And we're engaged with them at this point? Hideyoshi?
Yes.
Yeah.
You and I are standing above them on the hearse.
On the hearse?
On the hearse. In
Well.
the hearse. Shirten and schlurschen.
But really, we're here in the hearse to drag their bodies away.
To see us
I thought I
ruler.
already went, but I guess I'll go again.
This is round 2.
Wow.
So you go again.
Goodness gracious. That's kind of what happens in round 2s. I'm going to go stay
I
in
like
water
how
stance.
fast that we got around to round 2.
Yeah, we know what we're doing this time, kind
And
of, sort of.
then I'm going to go ahead and take
Sort
a
of.
calming breath.
Getting there.
Still haven't hit a damn thing.
I believe in you, Sahin.
And then I'm going to go ahead and just takes an action to switch weapons, right? Something like that. Unless you have the quick.
Prepare item is an action, yes.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and still shoot with me bow because I can still do that at range 1, I believe. No, I can only do that at range 2. So I'll go ahead and not attack, but switch to my Wakasashi,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all what I can do.
Okay. You stand on the horse?
Well, I took a calming. Well, no, I guess I can't take a calming breath because that would be an action.
You can
Oh,
take
no, I
2 actions as long as only one of them requires
Right,
a
right.
check.
So I guess I'll go ahead and drop off the horse and then not take the calming breath
Okay.
because then that way I can also draw my weapon. No, actually, what I'll
You
do,
can draw your weapon and take a calming breath on the horse.
but then I won't be able to jump off the horse.
Right, it's not this round.
Right, yeah. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll take the calming breath and then draw my weapon.
Okay.
So I'm still atop the horse.
I can't move at all. That's my full range of motion.
Right.
How'd you get on the horse? I slept on the horse.
Alright.
And we're back to Sahin, which at this point, last turn was the final turn. You were able to take a shot because at this point you're up and engaged in the grill. You can just try to overshoot the guys you're with and try to fire at the ones who are retreating if you wish, or you can pull out blade and slash with the
I think
one
I'd
that
like
brung in.
to pull out the blade and slash.
All right.
And I'm in water stance, so I can perform a second action
Yep.
that does not require a check. So I could pull out, exchange weapons,
And then fight.
and then fight.
Yeah.
Can I fight from on? Are we close enough? I can fight from on the horse.
Yeah, basically this is as you guys are galumphing over, kind of over their ranks and
Okay.
pushing through them.
Return of the King style.
Yes.
Just like just like in Two Towers, when they're riding down the balcony and their guys in the back just slashing at nothing.
They figured they'd be added in later,
What does unmasking look like again? Out of curiosity.
At this point in combat, you're probably gonna just lose your cool and
Go reckless.
press. It's the kind of thing where in combat you're probably gonna press the attack, whether or not it's a good idea.
Okay.
So even if you're about to drop, you're just like, no man, I got this.
Unless you're Memphis and then you just run away from it.
Sure.
Scream of rage, leap off horse, stabby instead of sitting on the horse, which is moving around and
Yeah.
making you harder to hit.
Tactics kind of leave.
Yes. Goodbye tactics.
Basically, remember when we were in the village and it was wet and rainy? And both me and you got unmasking and I ran away and then you were up on the thing and just like, come at me, bro!
So basically, it's like Game of Thrones Season 8. Tactics are just not there.
Ooh.
Oh, snap.
That's right, we'll send the horseman first and it'll be all gray.
No comment.
Wow, this is stupid. Everything I rolled has strife on it,
Nah.
but
Just to be fair, it's just the latest in a long line of media that has
That is a fair
horrible
point.
tactics.
so 2 success, and I'm taking 2 strife, which puts me at my threshold, but I am not compromised.
Okay.
You may wish to find yourself in water stance soon.
I am in water stance.
You may wish to
I
goose
did
from
last
a-
time, which
Oh,
is
dear.
why I could.
Sorry, what?
Goose Fraba? I've not heard this before.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Wait, what?
Goose Fraba.
Please explain in the middle of combat.
We're gonna... Dear listener, please pause the recording while I explain.
I assume it's a German thing.
I don't... Let me see if I can find it.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll get back to
Okay,
that.
but two success.
Yes.
Does that get me into striking anybody?
Yeah,
Okay.
because basically this close, you're just slashing down with your sword. It's like, hitting somebody who's right next to you with a sword is probably easier than hitting somebody from over there while riding on top of a horse with an bow and arrow. Anyway, you're slashing down with a sword, and 2 success will do you. And what's the damage here? Weapon?
It's the damage is 4, deadliness 5.
Okay. So we'll assume that Sahin is targeting the same individual that Hideyoshi had struck at before. So their combined sword slashes at this point have done the whoosh, crisscross, and that individual has fallen.
He has perished.
He
That
has
means killed.
fallen into shadow. We know what perished means. And it is now on to Hideyoshi. As you're continuing to Goose Fraba.
yes. Is there still someone within range of me?
You could close to within range of another fellow.
Okay, I'm still in Water Saints. I'm going to use the maneuver to close to within range, and then I'm going to strike him with my mighty blade.
Strike me down. It'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
By making a new character. That's what Obi-Wan meant! He's gonna make an OP Munchkin character!
Ah.
As a Force Ghost, I'm no longer... No.
Ooh, that is a happy roll right there.
I feel like Obi-Wan in that case would have popped up in Star Trek as a Tribble.
There were... There were no strife on those
No
dice.
strife.
Okay, 3 success.
You draw within closing distance of this next individual, and with 3 success, you are
It
able
does
to
5 damage.
do 5 damage. And this one, you simply, just as you're riding past, it's the kind of, your horse rears up as you lunge forward, and just in the clean strike downward with your frosting blade, it just cuts down through this individual, and he falls.
KO'd.
It was a clean kill. And they are going to boost Fraba back at you, if I'm using it correctly. I'm not. At Hideyoshi, they finally hit you.
Aww.
That'll be 5 damage to you. To Sahin is miss. To Memphis is miss. To Jakedan is miss.
Oh, yay!
To Hideyoshi is miss.
No.
To Sahin is miss.
Whoa.
To Memphis is hit.
Oh.
To Memphis is
I've been pretty lucky.
really hit.
Oh.
Is Ooh. To Memphis is going to be 9.
Ow.
9.
9 damage.
I have gone over my threshold by quite a bit.
Oh dear.
Are you your endurance?
My endurance, yes, because I was already at 3 out of 6.
Oh no.
-1 from 9 brings me up to a grand total of 10 total, so I'm over by 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you just slump over in your saddle against Jakedan at this point, and
3.
he.
Wait, math. 8. No, I'll be at 11. No, wait.
You...
Why is math?
Oh.
So why? I was at 3. You said 9, so that's 8. So that'll be 10. Yeah, so I'm at 11. I don't know what that means when I go over. I know I'm unconscious, obviously.
Yes, you're basically KO'd.
Do I fall off the horse, or am I still on the horse?
At that point, Jakedan's probably actually going to stop the horse to make sure you're not falling off the horse and being trampled, and just kind of grab onto you, and you just distantly and shouting, "Dojimin!
That's a world good. Keep me safe, Jeremy.
You hear
You are now incapacitated.
I am indeed. Just go on without me.
And we are back to Sahin.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Fräulein.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a calming breath,
Mm-hmm.
No.
and I can take only one strife away, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if my endurance is under half, I don't take any away.
Correct.
Okay. But I'm going to take another swipe at some people. Ooh, yay. Okay, this is better.
Yeah.
Sahin with the sword.
She swings that sword.
Do you even sword, bro?
I got 2 success on 1 opportunity. Yeah,
She swings
exactly.
it real good.
2 success?
And I'm in water stance, so during 2 success, yes.
Okay.
So during an attack action check, ignore 1 point of target's physical resistance per opportunity spent this way. I'm going to spend my 1 opportunity
Okay.
to help with that.
As you slash it down, he staggers back, but is still standing as Hideyoshi continues to gallop on through the line.
Okay.
Well, if he was in range of her, I bet he's within range of me.
Probably.
I'm
So it's a
I'm gonna try and hit him with my sword.
Goosefraba.
Not for him. Okay. I'm going to claim. I'm going to claim that. So it's going to be 2 success, 1 opportunity. So his physical resistance is reduced by 1, and he takes 4 damage.
He is slain. As Sahin, you kind of jabby jab from the back. Hideyoshi, you slash backwards, and betwixt the 2 blades, there is that kind of anime black and white crisscross moment, and falls.
So, is there somebody engaged with us at this time?
Probably at this point, yeah, you would have come upon them as they're falling back.
Okay, I'm wondering if I should use a maneuver to, because taking a calming breath actually doesn't help me because all my stuff is currently not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if I would use the maneuver to get closer to somebody so I can fight them next round, or
Yeah, basically, if you move in now, you don't have to worry about it next turn.
then I will do that.
Okay. That's-
Hopefully,
Because-
getting involved in combat will prevent at least one of them from shooting at me.
Yes, but yeah, as long as you're taking the time to actually move your horse forward, because this is true, a horse is faster than a person.
That's usually true.
Yeah,
what? Mind blown.
right?
No way.
But yeah,
I thought
okay,
got
so
one
I will move the horse and the 2 of us along with it closer to the next group of enemies so that
Charge
we
it
may
along.
smite them.
And you actually from behind have heard a "Oh my!" as Memphis has been incapacitated.
Yep.
But you push on.
Yep.
Push on. And at this point, it is not Memphis' turn because Memphis is incapacitated.
I'm dreaming.
He's
or something.
Are you still on the horse?
Luckily, yes, because my
yes.
compatriot
Jukade
is
has
still
pulled
down,
up.
so I don't get trampled to fall off.
And
You mean fall off and get trampled?
Yes.
You wouldn't get trampled before you fell off. I'm pretty certain.
Depends upon how big the trampler is. A mammoth could do it.
well, Hideyoshi, you were lucky.
Oh no.
This is going to be 8 damage to you
Oh, ow.
versus your endurance.
Ow. I take 5 of that because I have physical 3 armor.
Lucky.
I spent pretty much all of my money to buy that.
Another volley of arrows comes at you. Miss. Finally, last one at Sahin. Ooh, is maybe a hit. is a hit. It's going to be another 5 damage to you.
Okay.
As some of their arrows are managing to come in at least close enough to completely throw off your
You're throwing off my groove,
Yep.
man.
Jakaden at this point actually has pulled up, horse dismounted, and is actually placing himself kind of behind the horse as a meat shield as he's helping you down to get you out of the line of fire,
Okay.
and just kind of bringing you down to the ground. As we get back to Sahin.
Okay, I'm gonna slash again.
Yes, as Hideyoshi.
Hold my breath and then do that.
Wait.
What?
If you take the... No, you're above on both parts, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. Carry on.
Why would I
It-
not?
like,
If you're
So for me, I'm at exactly half for my strife. So if I take the calming breath first, it doesn't do me any good. But if I take it second, then I can help reduce any strife that I took on the roll I just made.
Got it. I'm still above on both
Okay,
right
then
now.
breathe
even
first.
even after doing the calming.
In that case, it's better to breathe first.
well, I mean, it's always a good thing to
Saki.
breathe. Just saying.
Okay.
Breathe.
I'm still in water stance.
Mm-hmm.
And
She's rolling. She's slashing.
Okay.
all because she's white and nerdy.
3 success and I take 1 strife, which I can take.
That'll do it. As you come up upon another one of these archers, Sahin just cleanly cleaves up through this individual, and they drop. And we are back to Hideyoshi. As at this point, you've probably taken about a quarter of these guys.
Okay, well, if there's another one handy.
Mm-hmm. Slash! You continue in your charge. Just your tiny little charge here. Half of you have been dropped out of the fight, but the rest of you press on.
I'm getting kind of into this. I'm gonna Yatamu as a war cry.
And I would be echoing it as my free action. Yutamu!
But keep
Okay.
it safe.
We're gonna go
You don't know
that.
who else might be watching.
Not all accounted for.
I'm not gonna take that one. Okay, so that gives me 3 success, 1 strife. After which I'm going to take a calming breath to make the strife go away.
Shing! As Sahin slashes up one side, of course, you slash up the other, and you've come up in between 2 of these archers and just cut them both down into the mud. And at this point, at the far end of the archer formation, you're seeing a small band of Doji Toseki's warriors have come around and cut off their retreat, and some of them are trying to slow the retreat with arrows. Others are just charging in with their blades. So now I get to roll Army v Army here in skirmish mode.
Is it high pain?
I wish I could see it.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Now you know how Morgan feels.
Yeah.
Jeremy's just trying to describe it to you.
So, incapacitated doesn't necessarily mean unconscious. So you're probably just like...
I'm not really there, but I'm
dazed.
there.
At this point, Jakaden is like gently pulling out any arrows and trying to staunch bleeding. He's basically trying to make sure you'll pull through before he takes off and joins in the fight.
Right.
And
That's alright. I got a running commentary from Jeremy, so I'm okay. I speak cricket, apparently.
all right. So
I totally believe that's what Dr. Paul.
shoot, where did that go? Rolling.
What would be hilarious is if, like, Jeremy gets in a fight and he's actually, like... Because he's got multiple arms, right?
Right.
And he's a combat instructor. So he, like, gets in a fight and he pulls out a little tiny stick and just, like... And then...
Right. It's like a night at the museum with the little guys.
Yeah.
Right. You got all the big guys.
So they're rolling tactics. Looks like. Ooh,
Tactics in a fight? Nah.
Master combat.
Nah.
I mean, our fellowship never uses tactics in a fight.
We do occasionally.
We do. Ever so often. We try.
Yeah. Morgan has definitely got to put out a standing order. I don't go first.
all right. And you all actually watch as Toseki actually bursts forth from the city and just charges forward atop his steed and sets in upon the enemy ranks and they are rather blindsided because he has pretty good command as an attribute.
Nice.
So as his little force comes in and starts whittling away at these invaders, you see another 3 of them drop as they
Oh yeah.
are going to retaliate against Doji Toseki. And
Go,
some of them are going to still try to fire at you. They actually, whatever they fire at Toseki's people does not seem to actually slow their advance. But any of the remaining archers who have some attention to spare attempts to fire back at Hideyoshi, which is that'll miss. To Sahin. Ooh. Oh no. Well, it's not so bad. That'll hit. It'll be 5 damage.
I am at my facing threshold.
We're still up, I believe. If that's the
Yeah, I
case.
believe you have to exceed it. So yeah, you basically have caught an arrow in the side, and you're just
It's like the video game where it's like the screen's kind of reddish.
Yep, just powering through. Oh dear, and then
What's this?
this is towards Hideyoshi. This will be another 6 damage
Okay.
as they've gotten off their next volley at you. At this point, though, they are basically in full retreat. Nearly half of them have been slaughtered.
Okay. Is there any?
Where are we at
Oh,
now in the
yeah.
initiative?
Back to Sahin.
Okay.
Back to the top.
Carry on. I just wanted to know.
You go first because I would make decisions.
And I am going to take a calming breath.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh, I need to take a calming breath, you guys.
Your Tammany is showing.
I know, and it's marvelous.
So I got shot just now.
And
Okay.
it, like, hurt a lot. Like, don't get me started.
Mm-hmm.
Tay, do you see the blood on my face?
Momo, I do.
Yeah, like it's ruining my mascara.
Wow. All right, Sahin, how you doing?
Laura reads book more frantically. Trying to
So 2 success, 1 opportunity, which I'm going to use again for to ignore 1 point of target's physical resistance.
Okay.
So
2 success though.
Yeah.
Like, you come up and cut one guy across the back, and he just is still staggering, stumbling forward, and Hideyoshi.
Okay, so that guy's still kind of within range.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody else within range of our current situation?
They're actually kind of beginning to cluster up in front of you at this point because Toseki's people have herded them
Okay.
to where they really don't have retreat except just straight back westward.
Okay. Then I'm going to try and finish off the guy that Sahin just slashed at. Okay, yeah, this is looking good. I'm gonna take those 3. Oh yeah, 4 success.
You just, as he staggers forward and just kind of limbs flailing, just running off, terrified, you just bring Hitsujinu up and just sink it down, like kind of from up top down past his shoulder, just kind of down into his chest, and then just cleanly just withdraw it as the blood crystallizes and frosts and just peels away.
Who's Raba? Calling breath.
All right. Yeah, at this point, Toseki is just going to be like raising his sword skyward as he actually drops in relatively close to where you are and is coming up together to join this charge. And he's basically just calling out, "Run them down!" And
Okay.
they're
All
going
right.
to attempt to do so. As another couple of Okita interlopers staggers, falls under the defenders return. However, just in sheer desperation, I guess, some of these Okita Leaguers just kind of whip around and just are quick firing arrows back. And 3 of Toseki's people actually just fall back with arrows in them, bristling as their numbers have whittled thus far. The shot towards Hideyoshi fails. The shot towards Sahin misses. 3 opportunity. Interesting. Okay.
Do you want the table of opportunity?
Hmm?
Do you want to see the table of what you can do for that?
I'm going to use GM discretion and basically say as they have taken their shots, in order to dodge away from their arrows, Hideyoshi, you've had to either yank your reins left or right. Which is it?
Which way is Doji?
Dozeki is on your left. He has come up from southward and is coming up to where you have joined, where you came from northward.
And I'm going to yank left to go closer to him.
Okay.
Not like running into him, but in that direction.
Well, we'll see. Go ahead and roll.
This is the horsemanship check?
Yes. Which I believe you can
Survival
you can do
shift?
survival if you wish. Yeah. Because you have that thing. That thing you do.
Well, that's just the thing for being on a horse.
Yes. And you're on a horse, so it's that thing you've got.
Now look at me. I'm on a horse.
Okay, well, that roll wasn't as good as it could have been.
Oh no.
So it's
What
a stressful time for me.
I do get 3 success, but I take 3 strife doing it.
Ooh. Alright, so just at the last seconds before you're just going to bowl into Toseki and possibly knock off his horse, possibly knock his horse over, you manage to rein in and divert course back to where you have the proper heading to follow the Okita Leaguers as they're retreating frantically at this point. But yes, it is rather stressful to do so, and there's the points where Toseki actually glances over and is like, "What? What is happening? What?" And you nearly compromise the charge, but manage not to. As we are back to Sahin. Sorry, yes, she has that.
Nice.
Days.
Sure.
Days.
Days. Very days.
I have digital dice, okay?
They're not as cool.
It's,
They work.
It's true.
They work. They're just not.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't put them in the dice jail if they misbehave.
Oh, I take a common breath
Okay.
first.
It's super soothing. Yeah, Memphis, you're having a great old time thinking about, just dreaming about frolicking through grass fields with your siblings, and you've brought them all sorts of presents.
Happy days are here again, you know.
1 success, 2 opportunity, 1 strife.
Unfortunately, you do not manage to find purchase on anything with the swing of your sword
Out of
because the
curiosity,
horse has been
if
swerving.
If I use the 2 opportunity to ignore physical armor,
You
does
do
that-
not hit. You need 2 success.
Okay, so what else can I do with my opportunity then?
No, if she can hit someone, then I can hit someone, so I don't have to move. Could you spend an opportunity to knock him off
I can
balance?
spend an opportunity to remove 1 fatigue in water stance.
Neat. Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do that multiple times? It doesn't seem to say that because it does say during the attack action check, ignore 1 point of target's physical resistance per opportunity spent this way. But the rest of them don't have that, so I'm wondering if it's only you can do it once.
What's the name of the ability?
Just
What
one
page is
seat.
it on?
It's on 328. It's under the conflict and martial skill examples of opportunity. Under the water.
Conflict and marital skills.
What? Did I say what I said?
No, it's fine.
Okay. You may have me worried.
That was just me
If you have
being
the
weird.
opportunity, you can marry.
No.
I would imagine that you could do that multiple times, depending upon GM discretion. Like, if I were a game master, I wouldn't let you remove 5 fatigue from something
Yeah.
like that. but
Can
2
I
seems
remove
fine.
2? Would that be okay, oh great and powerful game master?
Given the current state of morale, I'll allow it.
Okay.
As you have them on a route, it seems. Run away! Yes.
It's not us this time, guys. We're not the ones running
I know,
away.
I'm so proud of us.
honestly, Templars, we don't really run away.
No, we've been
Like,
pretty okay with the not running away thing in Temple
Our Star Wars group,
It's true, listener. They run away a lot in Star Wars.
We kind of technically ran away from this last session too,
Yeah,
but not because we were defeated, but because they didn't like us.
Also, the camera was toppling on top of us. I had to run away.
Okay,
Being unlikable is a loss in its own way.
that's yeah.
Hideyoshi, what do you do?
I'm going to start by taking a calming breath to recover from that close call there, and I'm going to slash out at the fellow that Sahin was attempting to murder, and I'm going to see if I can murder him better.
Well, David, next time maybe signal when you turn, with your Mustang, alright?
My horse is out of blinker fluid, okay?
Hand signals, boy. The hand signals.
Okay. Well, I think
Does your Mustang have racing stripes, David?
We'll say sure.
Okay. It's on the saddle.
I'm gonna do this. Ooh. But I don't want to take that. Okay, I'm gonna go with 2 success, 1 opportunity, and I'm gonna spend the opportunity to reduce the fellow's physical resistance by 1, and I end up taking 1 strife.
You slash up against him, and he's still staggering forward, and it is back to the non-person characters.
They're people.
They're people too.
Some of them are. Jeremy's a person.
Jeremy is a person.
These people that were making jokes about murdering in Cold Blood, they're probably not people.
Even though they probably have a family somewhere.
Wow, Kyle.
They're firing back desperately at this point. There are about 6 of them left standing at this point. These invaders, but they're still firing back and giving a good account of themselves. Another 2 of Toseki's men falls in the mud. One of them probably dead. One of them fires again at Hideyoshi. That'll be another 5 damage.
Oh, well, I reduced that by 3, so I only take 2 damage. So I'm still at 9 fatigue out of 10 endurance.
Wow.
Okay. And then it's Sahin. At Sahin, they miss. And, there's basically just a handful of these guys left as we get back to Sahin.
Okay.
Is there any next to them, or... No, wait, there is, because you didn't quite kill the one guy.
Yeah, there's the one little straggler man next to the horse at this point. And, yeah, at this point, all the archers are kind of bunched up and running together and trying to break off and present a more difficult target, but they've pretty much been successfully herded at this point, as they did not anticipate not only 1, but 2 charges towards their ranks that have been somewhat costly, but probably not nearly as costly as they could have been.
Yeah, I mean, we lost 25% of our forces.
Mm-hmm.
2 success, and I take 1 strafe. But I'm gonna take a calming breath to remove that, so I'm good.
That one you just managed to cut down, and there are about 5 of these guys left.
Cut down,
Okay.
down, you're standing,
there's-
you're great.
Did she get the last one that was within range?
Yes, you would have to close up within the last, basically, cluster of these guys.
All right, I'm gonna close up to the cluster, and I'm going to strike. Okay. What about
Gasp.
I'm just gonna go with. I guess I can keep that if I wanted to. Yeah, 2 success.
Okay. You managed to cut at the back of another one, and
Here.
And as basically at this point, they are unable to fire their bows any longer because you've closed
Melee.
in. Wow. Yeah, Toseki's basically whips his horse around and in one single swipe of his blade just cuts across two of these Kita-leaguers and they both just fall back stone dead.
That's my family member!
The rest of
Family member
Toseki's
has
men
great
managed
cleavage.
to press forward
Back
and
cleavage, though.
managed to just slaughter the rest of them as you've run them down.
Oh, you got them all.
Yeah, that was a really good roll on the part of Toseki and his buds, as you have successfully, seemingly completely obliterated this attacking force that thought it had the drop on all of you. And Toseki, at this point, is breathing rather heavily atop of his horse and looks over to both of you and gives a nod.
Give him a bro nod back.
Looks back towards the fort. Should return to the fortress to ensure that this was not a distraction. Kind of slaps his horse's flank with the flat of his blade and
I'm going to ride back to our allies.
mm-hmm.
And
As you look over, Jakaden actually at this point has Minfis slung over the back of his horse and is kind of at this point sees that the fighting is over and is just kind of half galloping up towards all of you, brings up his horse as you draw near. So, I gather things went a little better today.
have we succeeded in defeating an enemy?
It is strange that they would attack like this, though.
Doji Dono thinks this may be a distraction.
Perhaps. But it would be a costly one.
I'm gonna look around and do I see anything out of the ordinary in the vicinity or on the bodies or anything like that?
Just roll your vigilance.
Can I
See what you get.
help with searching the bodies?
Sure.
I wasn't looting the bodies.
Oh,
if you want to loot the bodies,
That's what I.
out of character, David encourages you to loot the bodies, but in character,
What would I be
Hideyoshi's-
rolling to
Go
essentially?
ahead and roll your vigilance and we'll see what happens.
Vigilance?
Yep.
okay, so I'm just rolling my vigilance 2 black die
Yep.
to look around, and I got 2 opportunity.
No,
Okay.
So that's what I should roll then too.
Yep.
Okay. 2 success and a strife, which
Okay.
puts me at my threshold.
Okay. Well, it kind of
Thank you,
makes
Zoe.
sense. As Sahin, you actually find an individual who looks like they might, be a little higher up in the chain of command, and you drop out of the saddle and just kind of quickly rifle through their clothing, their armor, and you pull out a little scrap of paper. Looks kind of familiar as you unwrap it. Hello, I am Doji Min. Please note that we have taken a small child by the name of Isoda-shan with us on our travels. And then it goes.
Guys!
Hold on. The village hired the Okita League to go grab the kid. I'm unconscious. I don't know any of this.
No, isn't he not completely unconscious? Just almost.
Yeah,
I'm
you're,
fading in and out.
you're very dazed. Is
Okay.
essentially what it is.
Guys,
Incapacitated.
guys, this is a problem.
Do I recognize... So it's Soda-shan's writing, right?
It's my
Yes.
right.
No, it's
Memphis
I
is right.
left a note saying, hey,
Memphis
we
left
took the
a
kid.
note.
Da-da-da-da.
Right.
He's okay, but I tried to explain it as best I could, and I rolled, and apparently I didn't do that well. But
Do I recognize Doji's handwriting?
Mhm.
Or I just kind of hand this to you.
I did not expect to see this anytime soon. I left that a long time ago. I'm okay. Don't wait out. Don't wait out.
JK then actually looks back to you and just makes a point of actually lifting your head so you're looking him in the eye. I'm sorry, you made a point of leaving not just a trail, but directions as to...
I felt bad that we were taking the young lad, or he was taking us.
I'm
I was
gonna,
a little confused, but I felt bad, and so I left a note explaining the situation.
I'm gonna take the note and
then-
tug it into his shirt.
And I thought that would be the right thing to do. Was it the right thing to do? And I'm kind of lightly petting his face.
He slaps your hand away. Dojimin,
Yeah.
you had already angered the League at this point, and leaving a note for them to find was not the right thing to do.
Point taken. I won't do it again. I'm sorry.
Yes, well,
Don't do what again?
it's kind of
And
puts
did-
your head back down.
Did we know that you wrote this note?
I'm pretty sure you would have noticed me writing something. I don't know if you knew what I wrote, but
Yeah.
I don't remember him saying that he tried to hide it or anything.
yeah,
so
I didn't hide it at all.
yeah, you like stuck it to a tree or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys probably noticed I did it.
Yeah, but maybe it didn't sink in just.
At the time, it didn't occur to me that anyone other than the villagers would see it,
Yeah.
and I keep that
And
back
I'm
to
paying-
myself.
I'm about over my composure level, so I'm pacing, and I'm just, this is bad. Memphis, did you
What?
even think this through? And I'm just
Yes,
talking.
As she's saying this, I'm gonna interrupt her and say, Zaheen, I wonder how much money these soldiers have on them.
Did I find money?
And as she's searching the bodies, I'm going to try to staunch some of the bleeding on my friend here.
Go for it. Zaheen will say you're able to find,
Some boo.
yeah, there's about probably 50 boo.
Okay, 50 boo.
50 boo.
Alright, and how many ways are we dividing this boo?
4 or 5, depending upon.
We should give
There's
the-
87 boo. I take it back.
Okay,
Oh. So I think we should do it 5 ways to be.
yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Because he would have been here if we hadn't told them there wasn't enough horse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 87. You said.
Mhm.
I'm thinking medicine survey to try and assess his bleedy and make it less bleedy.
Hello.
I'm gonna take 1 success on that one.
Okay. Memphis,
Yes.
we'll say that you're able to recover 1 fatigue so that you're basically patched up and cognizant of your surroundings.
Oh, so once I go over my threshold, it stops.
I believe so.
Oh, okay. So I'm now at my threshold, basically.
Yes.
Ah.
You don't feel great, but you're with it.
Ah.
Yeah.
So what did I miss?
We successfully routed the miscreants with the timely arrival of Doji Dono himself.
Go family.
And once Zaheen has finished gathering up all the money, we're going to book it back to the city and hope that this
So
wasn't a distraction
Where
for some other
does the
time.
note come in? I wasn't too sure how that came about.
Okay.
I apologize.
We probably just shouldn't mention that.
Everybody gets 17 boo and 20 zenny.
17 boo.
As Sagine is happily
20
doling
cents.
out various coinage, you actually hear from back in the middle of the city, somebody screams.
Does it sound like a young
Oh
lad?
crap! I told you this is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
We mount up and get a hustle on.
Okay,
Yeah.
as you hop back onto your horses, or in Memphis's case, kind of saddle sideways,
Right.
flop over on your horse, you manage to gallop on back towards the settlement and are looking around. There are a few soldiers that appear to be quickly running back and forth in between the buildings, quickly trying to patrol the city, see if they see any signs of danger. Nobody is in the midst of combat. You don't see any sign of Okita Leaguers. And I'm not entirely sure where the scream came from.
I'm going to see if I can snag a passing soldier and ask them if they know where that scream came from.
I'm gonna. Oh,
Okay, go ahead and do command insight, I guess, because you're
You there,
Yes.
Go ask.
knave?
Did you call him?
Or
I did not call him a knave.
Hayden?
Yes.
They go take us back to the Lucky Cricket because slowly regaining my consciousness, realizing what I left the note for, thinking of Ishodashan.
Oh wait, this is
I
inside.
want to make sure he's okay, so I'm gonna go ask for my
Oh no, I'm not inside.
Okay.
pilot to go take me over there.
Jikaden nods and starts heading off back towards the Lucky Cricket.
Yarg. Yeah, let's see about that. Okay, so I'm gonna go with that. It's gonna be 2 success, 2 strife, 3 opportunity.
Okay.
And that puts me at the threshold.
Wow. Okay. You grab a passing soldier and he glares you down for a moment and just kind of pointedly yanks his arm back. I do not answer to you. But no, we have not found any other signs of danger.
Where did the scream come from?
We do not know.
See? I trot off. I'm gonna lead the group kind of towards where I think Dojimin would have gone in such a situation, whether it's like the government building or the fort or the castle or whatever is...
Dojimin?
Not Dojimin, sorry, Doji Joseki.
He likely went back to the fortress to try to
They'll go back to the fortress.
organize proceedings. As you're heading back there, Jikaden has brought up your horse, Mao, back up in front of the Lucky Cricket and helps you down from the horse, and the two of you make your way inside. You actually see the girl who welcomed you the first night. She's actually just kind of crouched behind the front desk, just this terrified look in her eyes, and there's actually blood splatter across her face.
Ooh, I immediately go over and make sure she's doing okay.
She wakes up, I'm okay.
What happened?
He took the boy upstairs.
I immediately draw my sword and go
Jikaden looks at you and just
Right.
like shing, draws his own
rush
sword.
upstairs.
And both of you are rushing upstairs, and
So- I didn't intentionally separate myself from them.
I separated from you.
Okay.
Because I really
As
thought-
we were talking to the soldier, or as we were heading back to the fortress.
Well, I would imagine...
as you were grabbing somebody.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was
Okay.
saying, I break off and go
Then
down."
I would not have noticed to try to get us to stick together.
Probably not.
Sorry.
So
I really
What
thought
happens?
I immediately thought of, since they have to note, they probably have the Sodashan or know of the Sodashan. So I went back to the Lucky Cricket. You guys are heading off to the fortress. Stuff going down at the Lucky Cricket. Because stuff always goes down at the Lucky Cricket.
happening,
Do
please.
I notice?
Nope, you're with Hideyoshi. You were on the same horse as Hideyoshi.
Okay.
So as
Sorry.
you and Jikaden draw your blades and rush upstairs, you find the door to the room where Isoda-shan was staying just kind of creaked open.
Okay. Since there's no perception check, do I hear anything coming from the interior of the room?
You hear nothing.
Alright, I'll go ahead and have my guard up and then go enter the premises.
Okay.
Since I don't see anything, so...
As you have blade in hand, you look inside, duck inside. Nobody in here.
Nobody in here? I do a quick... Since I can't roll perception
Yeah.
check. Quick check around the room.
There's some drops of blood on the floor
Ooh,
by the window.
ooh, I go look out the window.
You see a man lying there. Appears to have fallen out of the window. Just lying there, splayed on the ground.
Ooh.
No sign of his Sodashan.
I go make my way back down, make sure the lady's still okay, and then go head out. However, I'll get around to the back and go check out the guy.
Jikaden actually is trotting along with you, and as you emerge at the back, you look over the person, just appears to be similarly draped in the drab clothing of the Okita League attackers, and just, you see his neck just twisted at an odd angle.
Out of curiosity, since there was blood up in the room, is there like evidence of a knife wound on them?
There is.
Ooh.
It appears as though somebody had slashed across with a blade.
Alright. Is there any trails or anything like that kind of be varying off since
Make a survive.
Or-
What?
since I am magical,
Yeah.
I want to go commune with the spirit world and commune with the spirits. let's go with Earth to go see if they happen to know where a young lad wandered off to.
Okay.
I think that's a theology check 2.
Yes. Go.
Oh, why am I grabbing that one? I don't actually have this dice. I'm all in the zone right now.
Do you still have
Yo,
a void point left?
Yes, I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
I'm gonna find my charge. He's my apprentice after all.
She's your princess? What?
My apprentice.
Okay.
So sorry, your princess is in another castle.
No! I'm glad I gave him a knife. Oh, and I didn't see any notes or anything like that left in the room, right?
You did not.
No, I probably didn't have it
Haha, we took him back, signed the village.
right.
I'm not even sure the village is involved because,
There's a good chance they're not.
yeah.
Ooh, how much do I keep there? 2. Well, then we'll do that.
And
First.
the whole way back to the fortress, I'm just muttering about Memphis and his notes and.
So
Well,
I
to be
have
fair, we
2
both
success,
noticed
or 3
that
success
didn't
and 1
stop.
strike. So I do succeed on check. I don't know what the
Yep.
other strike does, or the other success does, but
Well, you very successfully commune with the spirits of the earth,
yeah.
and the earth is still seemingly recoiling. It's like, ew, blood. But just kind of the impressions that you're feeling through the communing is you're grasping. There were 2 men.
Oh no.
One took the boy.
This is getting out of hand. Alright. Am I able to pinpoint where they might have gone, or
With 3 successes, yes, you're able to grasp that a single horse was procured, and they appeared to have taken off to the northwest.
I relay this information to my colleague, and I suggest we probably should go after it immediately, since we don't want them to escape too far.
Nods. Yes, but it seems like an awful lot of trouble just for a boy. What?
It is peculiar, I will admit. But he did kind of... Does he know about the whole shenanigans about why we had the boy in the first place?
He got a vague rundown of it.
I'll quickly relay the story about how we acquired the boy and why I left the note and all that good stuff, just so he has a little bit more picture.
But that makes no sense. Why would the Okita League work for these villagers?
Possibly luring us back into a trap. You know them a lot better than I do.
I thought I did.
Well, then maybe we should go stop them from acquiring and taking them away.
Nods. Yes.
Uh,
Back to the horse.
When we get outside the city and do we see
The fortress.
Dojimin anywhere in front of us, like between us and the fortress?
we're
No, he's back in the.
I know, but
Okay, good.
do we notice the fact that he's not there?
You probably noticed that I'm not there with you.
If I notice
Yeah.
that he's not there, I will probably stop and wait for him to come out.
So is
Are you
your
talking about me, Doji Nin, or Doji?
I'm waiting for Memphis
Alright.
to leave the city after having wandered away from us.
Okay, I see what you're doing. So you
So
didn't go to the fortress.
they were on the way to the fortress.
And then noticing that you were not ahead of us, I decided to wait until you caught up.
Okay. But I wouldn't necessarily... Okay, I don't think we'll ever rendezvous, though, because we're heading out of the city, and you're staying in the city.
We're outside the city.
But
We're
where's
just
the
outside
fortress?
the city.
So
I'm
city,
confused.
fortress. There's
Yes.
basically a small avenue of the travel road basically
Okay.
betwixt.
So since you know this whole map thing, am I going to be, since we're leaving, heading towards where Sodashan is, are we going to run into them?
you would actually be heading past the fortress.
So I
Kind of an
would... So they
angle.
would see us.
Probably.
Pass. Okay.
Unless
We
they
probably
completely
won't run
blind
into
and
you.
there's no
But,
perception check. So yeah,
Right.
they see you.
alright,
And
so we probably
you're
don't
right
see
now.
you, but...
When we see them, catch up with them.
All right. As yes,
Oh, I do want, when we leave the Lucky Cricket, if I see a guard person or somebody, let them know that, the lady needs saying to him we're on a chase type thing. Just to make sure that since you said there was blood or something on her.
You're gonna leave a note.
No, I was gonna go let somebody know.
that's why you always leave a note.
Right.
All right, make a command.
Not if you're Memphis.
Command reason, I guess.
I'm good at command. Reason? Okay. One success, one strike.
They kind of look at you. But if she is not injured, she is not a priority. Move on.
Did I notice if she was injured or not?
The blood didn't seem to be
Oh, all
hers.
right. I thought it was hers, so that's why it's like, no, whatever makes her. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I'll go ahead and head on out, and then they run up to us and we're
Yes.
here. All right.
As you've set out, and yes, you catch up with each other.
I relayed what I found out. So
Oh.
I'm writing on the little thing here. There's
Oh.
about 6
Oh
strikes.
boy.
Yes, boy. Thinking back, was there any indication that either Istorishan or his mother, whose name is Kawaranai,
Mhm.
was there any indication that either of them was more important than your average villager?
Something more important than your average villager? I mean, that would probably take like some sort of spell to determine that.
I meant like...
We never went to their house.
No, we,
You did.
Yeah.
Oh, I ended up in their house?
Yeah, during the fight.
Oh, lucky me.
Oh.
yeah, I don't
Oh,
know,
that's
like
right, yeah.
bigger house, fancier clothing,
No.
people defer to them
No, simple
When
traders.
we met them, they were being
Harass.
harassed.
by the Okita League.
Yeah.
We
Which,
gotta collect them all, apparently.
There's no way the village hired the Okita League to bring back a boy. There's no way the Okita League would care about a random boy from some random village. So either the boy's important somehow, or someone related to the boy's important.
yeah.
They need him as a hostage.
This is all adding up to just not good.
Right.
If we're stopping and talking, Memphis is strongly urging that we...
Well, we're still going.
Alright, I want to make sure we're actually...
Although, there is one slight problem. We just fought a battle to impress Doji Toseki-san so that we
Yes.
could join the Crane army, and now we're about to just leave. After having succeeded, finally, in accomplishing this task.
But the young lad, though, is missing. And I do feel responsible for him.
We should at least
It is
tell
your
him.
fault.
So, before we get too far from the fortress, I'm going to ask Sahin to wait so the horse will go faster. And then I'm going to ride into the fortress and find either Toseki or someone important enough to
Okay,
carry
you're
a
able to
message
find
to him.
Toseki. He's looking over reports that people, the scouts have been bringing back in, and it's negative after negative, no further Okita activity. He looks just confused and frustrated.
I, bow. It seems that the Okita League has kidnapped our 5th young companion. They have proceeded in the northwest or whatever direction it was, and we are going to chase after them. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause to
I
you.
do not understand. Is he some prince or something?
We have no idea. We are just as surprised as you are.
I see.
We will get answers.
He glances about, nods to an underling nearby who goes and grabs a bundle that just looks to be like a series of like towels just kind of rolled up, and he just hands one to you and kind of half unrolls it.
Hmm?
Inside is a badge of Koyosuru.
It
It is clear you are too incompetent to be Okita, and as well you also fought against them. So whatever your actions against them, I wish you well.
A deep bow. Does he give those like a whole bundle for all 5 of us?
Mhm.
Awesome. Deep bow again, and I bid you a good day. We will return when we have accomplished something.
He actually bows in return.
Woo. And please, then I give him another bow, and then I leave.
As you take off and rejoin your companions,
One for you,
you all
one for you, and
now
one
have
for you.
your badges of Koyosuru. As each of you takes them from these rolled up bundles of cloth, you find that as you take them in hand, they actually seem to have... Basically, this is the lowest grade magic possible, but basically it is like each of these, once it has been gifted or bestowed upon an individual, when it is forcibly taken away, it will shatter.
That's
That's
cool.
kind of cool.
Hmm.
So, as each of you now
I'll go ahead and
has
pocket Soshan so that way I can give it to him.
you now have your badges of Koyosuru, you have a kidnapped companion, and you have a heading. And that is where we will leave it for this evening.
Sorry.
Pick this up next time on Tim Portals. Yes, your apprentice is in another castle.
Yep.
Thanks for checking out our show. If you want to learn more about us, follow us at Tim Portlers on Twitter, or you can email us directly at tim.portlers@gmail.com.